Crypto market is pushing back higher. Everyone seems to be excited. The market is going up. But what's the reality? What does the market show you with all the news, narratives, and exactly the price action? Yes? Something which you should not miss is in front of you, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's Ether, whether it's a 3-day chart, whether it's a weekly chart. You have all of those in front of you. Now, I want to make sure there's no confusion, and I want to make sure I make it clear and keep the video short without increasing any confusion which already exists in the market. Now, remember, in the SI family, which is in the link below, you get all the charts, all the details you want for the individual assets. Now, before we jump in, if you didn't smash the like button yet, please do consider that. Now, think about it like this. This is a weekly chart for the total alt market. Now, how do you look at the total alt market? How many of you are really into the total alt market? Not a lot, yeah? But if you are, good. Now, watch this. This is a MACD cross to the downside. The moment the MACD was crossing to the downside, the price went up. Question is, how much did the price go up? It went up 16%. Oh, no, that's not accurate. It's here. It went up 13%. Cool. The next time when the price was kind of making a top already and the MACD was crossing to the upside, the price went up 27%. Okay, you got that. Yeah. Now, at that point, the MACD was at an even higher point than this. Cool. Now, the MACD is low and it's crossing to the downside. So, there is some micro upside happening in here, and historically that has been proved as a hype. Yeah, people jump into it and then get slaughtered. You go back into 2021 cycle, you go back anywhere and you get to see that. The moment you cross to the downside, you put that there is a fake move to the upside before it goes back down. Whether that's here in May 2021 or you pick September 2021, you kind of see that. At that point, the run was even bigger, which trapped a lot of people before it actually started going down. Now, if you zoom a little bit out and ask the question, are you trying to buy here for the next leg up, or are you buying into the distribution, which is the top formation? That is what you should be trying to answer. Say you pick up an individual assets. Now, you know the idea of the market, the alt market. Now you're picking an individual asset. This is Solana. Solana on a weekly shows you one thing. The weekly MACD cross is here. Good? Last time when it crossed to the downside, if you put a vertical line exactly at that point, what do you see? The price did bounce. We talked about this several times before, so I'm not detailing it. Understand, it bounced up and a lot of people went back into it. Cool. You know what happened after that, right? Those who saw that run up and went back in got slaughtered by a 40% drop. Now, some people say 40% is not a big drop, so it's not a big deal. Cool. If that's you, cool. Now, watch the next one, the very next one. Yeah, you can put the opposite argument as well. When the MACD was about to cross to the upside, the price did drop 15%. Now the MACD crossed to the downside and the price went up 50%. And then what happens? The price goes back down to the cross, the MACD cross direction. Now that's what's happening on a weekly for Solana. The MACD is crossing to the downside. So there should be a pump to attract retail liquidity and then get slaughtered. Say you want to focus on Bitcoin. Say you want to zoom in. This is 3-day chart. Watch each of these times in the recent past. You're not going even that far. If you want, you can, and you'll still get the same data. The MACD is crossing to the downside and the price from its local low went up 16%. Yet, the next time in here when the MACD was crossing to the downside, the price bounced up how much? 17%. Good. So now if you pick that from the bottom, did I miss something? No, somewhere around 20%. Good. So if you look at even that perspective, yes, there is a lot of odds that you may be trapped. But I wouldn't argue it's going to be a 16 to 20%, because if I put a horizontal line to show you the strength at that time, in the RSI as well as the MACD. You see, okay, this time around you don't have that strength in the MACD nor in the RSI. So the buying strength is not there. So I wouldn't expect it to do that big of a blow off to trap majority. I think at this point, you don't need that big of a trap. Everyone is getting in. You go check the social media for crypto and you see the fact that everyone and their brother is bullish. Now it's your decision what you should be doing, what you should be acting upon. But the basic thing here is simple. You put that asset on a longer horizon and you look for what's coming. The monthly candle close is coming just few days. Just in 5 days, you're going to get that idea clear. The RSI has not yet tested that resistance, but is not breaking the negative divergence yet. So here we are on a Thursday. So you just have 3 more days for the weekly candle close. Then, as soon as that's going to happen, you're going to get what? You're going to get another candle close, which is a monthly and a quarterly chart. Now that's serious because the monthly is still in here saying the price is going up, good, but the RSI is not. So not everybody is gonna recognize this, but those who will is gonna make a fortune just by trading the opposite side of the majority. When 95% are going in one way, when you look at it on the contrary perspective, 95% lose money, and you know that. And this is the primary reason why everyone is bullish. Now, when you're here, just look at, before you leave, just look at something else. If you put the alt market, say on a weekly, and think about the upcoming monthly close and quarterly close, I think you may get a bit more idea. In a bear market, when you are doing this, meaning you try to cross back to the upside, but you get rejected. If that is happening in front of you, now, I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth or your mind, but just zoom in and see what's happening. Do you see something similar to what you saw back in the day here? You tried to cross back to the upside, but then get rejected. Now, you just put 2 lines. One is a vertical line in here and another one in here. Cool. Now go back. Watch where that coincided with. The market literally went up 40%. Everyone thought it's the bull market. But then what happens? From the bottom, you can actually see how that thing's turned out. Right now, it went up like 45%. It's almost close. This is where the history kind of rhymes. Now, say, keep that perspective and move on to the monthly. If the monthly candle is about to close and say nothing drops, you still stay here, maybe you go up another couple of percent in the market, good. Even at that point, it's turning what? Red. The RSI is pointing into the downside, and the current pump is because of what? The MACD on a monthly is about to cross to the downside. Oh, serious. Yeah? The last time it did that, you had this micro pump, and then it continued to the direction of the MACD cross. Say you want to go back. You go on a quarterly. What do you see? You're literally getting a long wick candle, which suggests the local low was here. Good. Even just to preserve the trend, you can still come back to just that point and say, I'm still bullish. So that's total market showing you 40%. But my question is, did this change? I mean, a lot of people are not watching this. I would argue this invalidation of the trend, which is just like this, yeah? It started bullish, it started bearish. Then the momentum changed, and you took how many quarterly candles to come back up here? Meaning just 1 quarter of a downfall, which is the Terra Luna crash. I call it a terrorism in crypto back then, and this is the reason. Now, since then, you took almost 3 years plus to come back up to test that top. What does that mean? It doesn't look good, because the next drop in that ABC leg is going to be like this, yeah? Let's watch. If that plays out, those who are contrary right now, they're going to make a fortune. And if you belong to that group, make sure you understand it absolutely, because right here, right now, SI family knows that. You have the link in the description below for each and every individual asset you have in your portfolio. You get the updates there. You want to join, use that, and make sure in a month when the price actually reverses and boom, starts breaking lower, that's not when you jump in. That's not where the opportunity is. Think about that. That's where your profits get crushed. And then you go into negative. That's not the time to do that. If you're in dry powder right now, completely good. You can wait and see if this guy's right. And if it turns out to be right, then you can join. But those who are here, who have been here for so long, they already know which direction we are going. And that's all for today, guys. If you haven't smashed the like button, please consider doing that. I'll catch you up next video. Bye.